Rapids Nation, we are joined by number one in your program and number one in many of your hearts, Nolan Boyd, goaltender for the Grand Falls Rapids. Welcome, Nolan.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Good, thanks.
Good. Where are you off seasoning this year?
Right now, I'm in Dartmouth with my sister's living. With my oldest sister, Brenna. Right now, my sister Kennedy's up in Asbestos, Quebec, with her boyfriend. So I've been kind of holding down the fort with my sister here in Dartmouth.
There you go. How are things down in Dartmouth?
It's pretty good. I mean, obviously, with everything going on, it's kind of crazy. But I think with everything that has been going on, it builds a closer, I think, bond with your family. I think we don't take that for granted enough sometimes, and it's definitely brought us closer together. So it's nice.
Yeah, I think it's definitely made people kind of check their what's important to them, right?
Exactly. I think we need to take advantage of the things that we have. I think like we don't appreciate the nature that we have, and for myself as well. Like I always, I never was going outside before, but now I'm really appreciating like the nice weather we've been having. So it's been good.
Awesome. And so your off-season routine, how has this year changed from any other past year off-season routines that you've been going through?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, any other year right now, I'd be in the gym 4 to 5 times a week, and that's obviously different right now with everything that has been going on. So Brad's been sending us some workouts that we've been able to do. I've been doing those and kind of doing my own little routine that my goalie coach has provided me. So I've been doing those and trying to keep active as much as possible, whether that's stretching, going for runs, or even juggling balls. So
it's great. It's great.
Yeah.
Juggling balls. I remember watching one of the pregame rituals you guys were doing, and you were quite the juggler from what I recall. So that's good. So what are your thoughts on the upcoming season and the potential for this to not actually start until maybe into the new year?
Yeah, obviously. I mean, I'm kind of at the point now where I'm just taking them from. I can't really believe anyone what everyone's going to say because we really don't know what's going to happen. So I think as long as we just stay patient, I think that's the biggest word that there is just patience, because there's obviously a bigger picture in the world right now. This isn't something to take lightly. So I mean, I think we'll take the league and every other league around the world will take serious precautions when the time comes that we return back to hockey.
Awesome. And speaking of other leagues around the world, the 24-team playoff format was announced for the NHL. What are your thoughts on that?
I haven't been really keeping up with it, to be honest with you. It's been kind of something playing in the back of my head, but I don't know what's going to happen there. But I mean, kudos to them for finding a solution to get hockey back. And I think everyone's, hungry to watch some hockey again.
For sure. Yeah. So what have you been watching in the off season here that while you've been quarantined?
Honestly, I think my sister's getting pretty sick and tired of me, but I've been watching a lot of our old games and trying to just hockey TV and a bunch of on-demand games that I've had recorded. So I've been kind of just picking away at those, and yeah, I mean that's basically it, to be honest with you. I mean, obviously, I want to be back on the ice and I want to be doing things with my buddies, and but no, like I said earlier, just being patient with the whole situation, just knowing that you're not the only one going through it makes it a lot easier too. And I encourage everyone to, go outside, get with your family members, take advantage of it, right? Seriously.
Yeah, no, that's great. Great advice. So you mentioned that you were watching some of your old game tapes there. I know that you guys as a team do that, but how much do you do that on your own just to kind of, check your own performance and do things?
You know what? I actually do it quite often. Mostly after every single game, I kind of just pick away at moments where I'm like, hey, I could have improved on that, and that's something to look. I always look to get better. That's a big thing for me. I think in the past 2 seasons with the Rapids, I don't think I've shown bits of myself, but I haven't shown the full potential that I can actually bring to the table. So every single day at practice, it's just, okay, what can I do better at this, and then improving on that. So I've been kind of just taking a little step by step and putting that in my game, and hopefully it improves.
Great. That's good. And so talking about last 2 seasons now that you've spent here, talk to me a little bit about your first impressions when you got here 2 seasons ago, and kind of how you've built and your impressions of Grand Falls now.
I completely, well, I vividly remember I was with one of my best friends. We were on Twitter all day. We're like, oh, where are we going to go? Like, who's going to draft us? And I remember I was like, Grand Falls. Like, I've never been to Grand Falls before. And I went outside of my dad. I'm like, Dad, like, where's Grand Falls? And I was like, oh, it's just an hour off from my office because my dad works in Woodstock. That's where his head office is. So it was pretty convenient for him. But I mean, I remember the day leaving my house, and I was like, whoa, like it's actually happening. Like I'm actually leaving home. It didn't feel like real. And I remember getting up to Grand Falls, and the only person I knew there was Matt McKay. That was going to be playing there for the year. So we were just kind of like together, and we would always chat with each other. And I was kind of shy because I didn't know anyone, because it was different, right? Because I came from, minor hockey where it was guys you've seen your whole life. And, but now I'm like, my billet brother was Mac Minnis my first year. I've never met him before in my life. It was totally different. And I was really worried, but luckily Grand Falls opened me with welcome arms. I mean, from day one, it was just a true connection, I think. With my billets as well, Pat and Colette Kavanaugh, they've been nothing but amazing to me. So I couldn't ask for any better there. And like I said, I'm gonna consider Grand Falls a second home to me. I really wish I was up there right now doing stuff there, because I know the weather's been beautiful. So
yeah, most definitely.
I mean, no,
experiencing a little technical difficulties, but all good. You still there?
Yeah, I'm good.
Perfect. Yeah, I hear Colette makes some pretty mean cookies too.
Oh no, well, there's a rule that we're not allowed in the kitchen, but I've been cooking for me and my sister this past summer, and I keep sending her pictures, and she said, "Geez, you're gonna have to take over my spot now," eh? And we kind of joke back and forth about it, but she definitely knows. She feeds us well. I mean, there's no issues there whatsoever when it comes to food.
Awesome. And so there's a couple of games that I remember watching last year where you were pretty animated on the ice, and a couple of times where maybe you were gonna throw some fists there in a couple of games. And so talk to me about that. Talk to me about how much you enjoy doing that, or what goes through your head when that happens.
Honestly, as a kid, like I was always kind of mouthy, and I always kind of give it to guys, but then I remember my goalie coach kind of said to me, he's like, "Hey, like you need to clean it up like a little bit. You need to be more dialed in and stuff like that." So I kind of brushed away to my game, because I always say, okay, karma's gonna happen. Like you give it to this one guy, and he's gonna score on you probably. So that's the way I always looked at it. So I always shut my mouth now. But no, obviously this year there's a couple instances where one in particular, it sticks out. We were playing Miramichi at the beginning of the year, and there was a hit at center ice that no one liked at all. And I thought we kind of eyed each other down, and I thought it was going to happen, and everything just kind of oomph in my brain. So it was kind of funny, but no, I'm definitely not one to shy away from that kind of stuff. I think I have a bunch of respect for guys that go take care of business that needs to be handled. And honestly, if I can help, I mean, in any way, I know it's weird to say if a goalie's going after someone, but I mean, I love my teammates, and I do anything for them. So I guess that's just my way of sticking up for them and believing in something that is very important to the game, I think.
Awesome. Yeah. And so I got to ask this question, and it always is one of these things that make me shake my head. What would ever make you want to be a goaltender and stand in front of guys firing pucks at you 90, 100 miles an hour?
You know what? I'll be honest with you. When I was a kid, my dad and I would always go into a local sports shop called Sport Wheels down here in Sackville, where Matt McKay lives, actually. So I would always go there every Saturday after hockey practice. I just look at the goalie gear. I'd just be so interested in it, right? And I just begged and begged and begged. And then one Christmas, you can find it on my mom's Facebook. I got goalie gear, and I just completely lost it. Like, almost throwing up. I was crying so much. It was quite the day. And till this day, it's still my favorite Christmas, because it's brought me so much, the game of hockey, just like friendships and memories, and so many life lessons too. I think, we don't really take that out of the game as much, but I mean, you build a community. Like, I've come to Grand Falls, and I love the community. I've met so many good people, and it's something that I can carry for the rest of my life. So
that's great. Yeah. And talk to me a little bit about the differences between, the first year and last year. I mean, obviously, from a fan's perspective and sitting and watching you guys, you could see that there was a different chemistry on the team last year. And so talk to me a little bit about the differences between the 2 years.
Yeah, I think our first year, it was just kind of tough. Everything was so fresh, right? Like, there was only, I think, 3 months to really throw things together. So, it obviously wasn't the best organized that it could have been, obviously. And I think people knew that coming in, and people were understanding of that. And I think we had a great team our first year. Honestly, we had a lot of good guys. We had a lot of skilled players. I don't know. It wasn't as much as it was just kind of a different environment, I guess. Different coaching styles, obviously, as well. So I think with Sandy was awesome. I love Sandy. Sandy gave my first opportunity at junior hockey, and he was amazing to me. And I have nothing but good things to say about Sandy. But it was just really different this past year. I think everyone gelled together really well. Obviously, with 2 years I've been here, I've played with a lot of different players and seen a lot of different faces come in and out of the lineup. So it's tough in that sense as well, right? Because, one day you have one face and he's gone, and then the next guy's coming in, and then two more guys are coming in. So it's kind of hard to gel right away, right? So, and I mean, that was a big eye opener for me as a 17-year-old, because I'd never been in that environment before. So I was like, oh my God, like, this is actually happening. So it kind of hit me a little bit differently. It was kind of weird, but I'm never one to shy away from, saying hi to people or greeting myself. It's just the person who I am. But I think with the organization, like, it's very, very fresh now. And I think it's on the right path it needs to be on.
Gotcha. And so the Rapids organization has been very active in the community. And I know you've been a big advocate of some of the programs that have been going on with the team. So talk to me a little bit about that and how you guys get involved in those. Do you get to choose what you're getting involved with, or do you just kind of get told, here, we're going to this program?
No, I think it's everyone. I think it's important as, players that we give back to the community that's giving to us. At the end of the day, the Billets are taking care of us. They're letting us into their homes and staying with their families under their roof, right? And especially our fans and the kids as well. I remember vividly going on the ice with, university players and Q players when I was younger, and I was just like, oh my God, right? So I think it's important that kids get that opportunity to, hang out with us, and we love hanging out with them. They're awesome, and they're our biggest fans, and we love them to death.
Awesome. And who's the biggest influence that you had in your life growing up?
Ooh. I mean, obviously, the main one is my parents. My parents have given me so many good opportunities just to, travel when it comes to hockey, or, giving me advice and just being there for support, because, it hasn't been easy at times, and, they've always stuck by my side. So, obviously, my family, they're huge to me, and my billet family as well, because when my parents aren't there, they're always there for me as well. It's you got a shoulder to cry on anywhere you go, so it's nice.
Awesome. And what's life after hockey look like, or maybe life after the Rapids? I'm not saying that you're not going to be in hockey, but what's life after the Rapids look like for you down the road?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that I've got to start thinking about, right? I mean, I'm already 2 seasons down. I only got 2 left to go. It's flying by like crazy. So hopefully, I mean, university hockey is obviously what I want to do. I have plenty more hockey left in me, and I'd love to just, waste it, like chuck it all away and play as long as I can. But I think career path wise, I'd like to be a firefighter or police officer. Just something that I've always wanted to do since I was a kid. So I find a very big passion in that, because it's also community involved, sort of. So, it's big for me.
Good. Oh, that's awesome. And what are you most looking forward to this year coming back into the season?
Oh, a lot of things. I think just the excitement. I think with COVID happening, everyone will be so excited to have hockey back and just be that much more grateful to have it. And I think us as players as well will be just. I think this year is going to be our year, and we're going to be very good. And I think we're all gelling together really, really well. And I'm really excited to get back up there. Like, I'm just itching to get up there, so it'll be fun.
Awesome. Well, we're certainly looking forward to having you back up here. Just one final question: you signed that big NHL contract. The first check comes in. What's the first thing you buy?
Oh, jeez. That's a really good question. Car is too big of a cliche, I think. Maybe help put it towards like a little bit like a house, maybe like put like a mortgage down like a house. I think that's like the responsible thing to do. But if I was to splurge my money, I'd probably get like a Jeep or something like that, I think.
Gotcha. All right, good.
Yeah.
Well, hey, Nolan, thank you for taking some time out of your busy summer schedule here. We appreciate you joining us, and certainly we'll be looking forward to having you back up in town here as soon as the season starts, whenever that's going to be. Hopefully it'll start on time, but it will hopefully at some point start, and we'll welcome you back to town and look to have a great year this year. So.
Yeah, no, thanks. I appreciate you having me, David, and take care. I hope everyone's well up in Grand Falls.
Awesome. Thanks, Nolan.